Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, Manatee High School students taking to the streets today to protest a Confederate flag brought to their school during Spirit Week. ABC 7's Kate Flexter was at their demonstration today and has more on the story.
The protest started here at Bradenton's Riverwalk, but unlike similar demonstrations across the country, this one was largely made up of high school students. Black Lives Matter. The signs read, "Stand with Manatee students and no more racism in our schools," as nearly 100 protesters took to the streets. It's all a reaction to this photo posted to social media of Manatee High School students holding the Confederate flag during Spirit Week. The school district quickly became aware of the flag, and the student turned it in upon the principal's request.
Students have a right of freedom of expression when they're at school, but when that freedom of expression crosses into a disruption to the school day, then again, the principal has a right to step in and do something.
For Manatee High student Dasani Wade, it was frustrating to see and reason to take action.
This was my first protest I participated in, so it felt like I wanted to do more and give back.
She's one of many young people getting involved in the growing movement. 22-year-old Snusha Glaude is fairly new to the cause herself.
I know that oftentimes I would much rather be doing something fun or something that requires less energy, but activism is work.
Shut it down! But she says it's crucial for the younger generations to continue this fight.
I feel as though it's especially important for younger people to develop that habit. That's something that I wish I would have done sooner instead of kind of like more recently, is to get into the habit of vocalizing my concerns, learning the language, and understanding how to relate to people and how to better organize so that I can see the changes that I want enacted.
For the president of the Black Lives Matter Minnesota Alliance, young involvement is important.
If younger people don't, step up, when they become adults, they will fight the same fight for their kids as our parents fought for us.
Along with the NAACP and Answer Suncoast, she's mentoring the students and teaching them how to peacefully advocate for a cause.
The older group, we take the initiatives ourselves, but for the younger generation to get involved, that there is really a need for change.
The group says it's planning several protests like it in the future. The next one will be on Saturday. In Bradenton, Kate Flexter, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. The Northport Police Department is working with the principal of the Imagine School in Northport to investigate potential threats made by two students. Northport PD says the students have been identified. There will be an extra presence on campus to ease concerns of students and parents. Principal Cher Gardner released a letter today saying, quote, "These two students have been identified and will not be permitted to return to school tomorrow. As the police continue their investigation, I have requested a police presence on Monday to assure our students, families, and staff that we can have a safe campus." Now let's head over to Steve Newman for a first check on our weather tonight. And Steve, things got a little rainy there tonight.
Oh man, it came down heavily as a big line of thunderstorms passed over us. Let's review the last 6 hours. You can see it moving out in the Gulf and things are clearing out behind it, but boy, it left behind a lot of rain, like from the I-4 corridor down right over the Suncoast. Not so much in the southern parts of our viewing area, but the heaviest we can see from radar estimates was over 5 inches, right about Onico. Lakewood Ranch between 3 and 4 inches of rain. Between Parrish and the I-75, 275 split, almost 5 inches of rain. Downtown Sarasota, 2 inches, and that's more common. Boy, it's all gone. And probably what we're going to get from Hurricane Matthew won't be that heavy. Not as heavy as we just saw if the current projections are true, but that remains to be seen. Matthew still a Category 4 storm with 145-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds, taking aim on Haiti, extreme western Haiti, and will pass between there and clip the tip of eastern Cuba as we move into Wednesday. Then look and see the wind field here. Those purples are the heaviest winds. And by Friday, late in the week, look at this. We could have some fairly gusty winds Wednesday into Thursday, even along the Suncoast. Small craft advisories may be issued out there for marine interest, and we'll see some fairly hefty wind gust along the coast, but not damaging. We'll talk more about our hurricane potential from Matthew coming up a little bit later in the newscast. Adam?
Thank you, Steve. The people of Jamaica are preparing for Hurricane Matthew. It's not expected to make landfall for another day, but homeowners are already thinking ahead. They're boarding up windows and stocking up on supplies. The government is also preparing and watching this massive storm.
If we are not prepared, then disaster will catch us unaware.
It has been chaos from morning. Unbelievable amount of kerosene lamps, flashlights, you name it, every imaginary thing.
The U.S. has already advised Americans visiting Jamaica and Haiti to leave the islands if possible. Governor Rick Scott is also urging all Floridians to be prepared for what Hurricane Matthew might bring. According to a press release from his office, the state will hold twice daily calls with the National Hurricane Center in all 67 counties as the storm approaches. The group is making sure all communities have the resources to prepare and respond to the storm. Many of you expressed your own concern on our Facebook page. Linda Dearman writes, having seen my trees downed by mild storms and living in Inglewood, I am being cautious. Strange weather has occurred recently in areas we don't ordinarily see it. Charity Catronio writes, I know Sarasota will see rain, but if it stays over to the East Coast, how bad could it possibly get? And Lisa Mitchell writes, people need to at least keep an eye on the storm. People never cease to amaze me. Anyone who has been through a hurricane before knows not to ignore these storms. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is looking for two men they say were involved in a shooting on Saturday night. The Sheriff's Office says Michael Duvall walked out of the Rabonia Social Club and went to his car, which was parked across the street. That's when two men approached Duvall while he was getting into his car, and one of those suspects shot Duvall. Then the two fled the scene. Duvall was able to drive himself to a hospital where he was treated and later released. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers. Jewish Family and Children's Services of the Sun Coast is getting ready for some big changes ahead. The social service nonprofit is looking for a new CEO. Rose Chapman has held the position for 23 years. During her tenure, she helped JFCS grow from a $200,000 agency to an $8.5 million agency. The staff was also grown exponentially during her time as chief executive officer. Stakeholders say the incoming CEO has some big shoes to fill.
We're looking for someone with the capability of running and maintaining an organization of $8 to $10 million a year that serves numerous agencies in the community, someone that can follow in Rose's great footsteps in leading the team of 100+ employees, counselors, and all the good work they do in this community.
Chapman won't be saying goodbye to JFCS. She will use her 40 years of experience working with nonprofits to support the organization as it moves forward. Locals gathered today to take part in a century-long tradition in East Sarasota County, the Old Myakka Hootenanny. The event celebrates the 102nd anniversary of the schoolhouse in Old Myakka. Civil War reenactments were the highlight of the afternoon, but activities throughout the day were focused on what's known as living history.
We like to support community events in Sarasota County, and we thought the grandchildren would enjoy this. And we wanted them to see a one-room schoolhouse.
Some of the other amenities included some homemade butter and tours of the schoolhouse. And for the foodies, well, of course, there was some good old-fashioned barbecue. Still to come here on ABC 7, a second chance for investigators of Thursday's fatal train crash in New Jersey. Their search for answers falls short, but it doesn't leave them at a dead end.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Fit for $149 or a new Civic just $169 and no down payment. It's clearance time now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.com. EmployFlorida.com.
ABC7 is proud to present Line Dance Central. Now you can learn popular country and not so country line dances from the comfort of your own home. Just visit mysuncoast.com, click on Entertainment, and you'll be kicking up your boots or flip-flops in no time. Brought to you by the White Buffalo Saloon and Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord or CRV for $179 and no down payment. Your choice, just $179. It's clearance time now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
The people of Colombia have voted against a historic peace agreement with the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. The vote ended with a razor-thin margin, 50.2% voting no and 49.8% voting yes. The difference, just 24,000 votes. The vote risks prolonging the 52-year armed conflict. The vote, an example that every single vote counts. NTSB officials are trying to recover an event recorder from last week's train crash in New Jersey after the original recorder failed to work. Crews must remove debris and support unstable structures before NTSB investigators can gain access to the train cars and recover the second event recorder and camera from the control cab. The event recorder and an image recorder could give investigators a better idea about what went wrong before Thursday's crash.
Yesterday, our recorders experts worked with the experts from the manufacturers to access data from the recovered locomotive event recorder, which was built in 1995. Unfortunately, the event recorder was not functioning during this trip.
The National Transportation Safety Board just released some never-before-seen photos of the crash. The train rammed through a passenger concourse, killing one woman and leaving more than 100 others injured. Tonight, Donald Trump is not denying a report in the New York Times that's based on his income tax returns. The Times says someone leaked the information to them after Trump's repeated refusals to make those returns public. The Times does not say Trump cheated on his taxes, but the story has given the Clinton campaign some potentially powerful ammunition. ABC's Devin Dwyer reports.
As Donald Trump refuses to release his tax returns, the New York Times now says that may be because he has nothing to hide. Nothing is in no federal income taxes. The Times reports that someone anonymously mailed them pages from Trump's 1995 state tax returns, reporting a staggering $916 million loss, apparently from the collapse of his Atlantic City casinos, airline, and purchase of New York's Plaza Hotel. A loss so large, Trump could legally have paid no federal income taxes for up to 18 years, according to the Times. Hillary Clinton suggested as much in the first presidential debate.
Maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes. So
that makes
if
me
he's
smart.
paid
Clinton's campaign saying now that the gig is up, why doesn't he go ahead and release his returns to show us all how smart he really is? Trump is not accused of anything illegal. Trump's tax revelations come as a new ABC News Washington Post poll finds 53% of Americans think Hillary Clinton won the first debate. With their second matchup just a week away, Trump is trying out some tough talk.
She could be crazy. She could actually be crazy. I don't even think she's loyal to Bill. She should be in prison.
The Clinton campaign accuses Trump of new lows.
I don't actually think it's well considered, thought through strategy by the Trump campaign. I think it's an impulsive move by the candidate.
Trump and Clinton face off again next Sunday. Devin Dwyer, ABC News, Washington.
Louisiana residents are still picking up the pieces following the devastating floods, families losing homes, pets, and cars. Now a church in Georgia is helping some of those victims get back on their feet and back on the road. The Vickery family lost 3 of their cars and their trailer home in the floods. The pastor of Origin Church collected money and donations from churches all over the country to help the Vickerys purchase 3 fully loaded cars. That's awesome. That's really good to see that they were able to get back in their cars on that flooding. Obviously pretty devastating, but we had a little weather ourselves tonight. I was outside for a little bit, but the lightning was really cracking tonight.
And those clouds that came over were really impressive too. We have some pictures from our viewers. I want to thank you for sending in these pictures to pics@mysuncoast.com, either from your mobile device or through email. This is towering cumulus clouds taken by Lewis Taylor looking out over the Gulf of Mexico from about Clark Road. We also want to thank Mark Bedwell for this picture of a shelf cloud passing right over the airport late this afternoon, and that same shelf cloud went out over Lido Beach. And I hope that when you see those things coming, you get off the beach or wherever you are. If you're outdoors, that means it could be potentially dangerous lightning, so whatever you do, get indoors. And those storms have now moved offshore into the Gulf of Mexico. We could see a few offshore overnight, but I think it's going to be mainly dry across the Suncoast for the balance of tonight. And if we zoom into the local area, there's some ground clutter. It is rain-free from top to bottom. Now, what a beautiful storm this is. Nice spiraling bands. It's classic. Hurricane Matthew is actually a beautiful storm, but it has potential of creating incredible devastation as it moves into Haiti. Jamaica may not get the brunt of this storm. And the Hurricane Center says that hurricane-force winds are only within about 25 miles of the center, but that center is only about 5 miles wide. But tropical storm-force winds extend out for 250 miles. So hopefully it's only going to be very close to the center that we're going to have the devastation. And right now it looks like that storm's going to pass over just the tip of far western Haiti late tomorrow night into Tuesday. We take a look in the evening hours. The eye is still clearly visible, very tiny. It hasn't collapsed yet. And here is the path from the National Hurricane Center for Matthew, clipping as a Category 4 storm, cause catastrophic damage to parts of western Haiti and then eastern Cuba, and the rough terrain from there will probably weaken the storm to Category 3. Jamaica on the backside of this looks like it might not get all that strong winds, but then it moves over the Bahamas, weakens to Category 2 late in the week. We are outside the cone of uncertainty on this forecast, and all the models are pretty much in play and keeping it along this line. So we should be free and clear in the Suncoast for this week, but we are going to get some winds. And the Atlantic coast of Florida is going to get some rain too, but not all that heavy. This is the European model showing the rain coming in from the passing Matthew well out to sea, anywhere from 1.5 inches, 2.5, 3 inches of rain possible right along the immediate Atlantic coast. It's more the onshore winds bringing in storm surge tides, and strong winds could also affect the Jacksonville area, the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. That is something Bob Harrigan will be looking at very closely in the next few days when he comes back to work tomorrow. Well, here's our futurecast showing the storms leaving us and coming back tomorrow. Probably not the same kind of line we had today, but if you notice, the circulation becomes stronger. As Matthew approaches, the winds will become more strong from the northeast, especially offshore. Small craft advisories are likely to be issued by Wednesday and into Thursday. But tomorrow should be a beautiful day before those winds pick up. East in the morning, north in the afternoon to 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop. Great beach day. Both the air and water temperature in the afternoon will be 87 degrees, UV index 6. Now that moisture left behind by these storms could form into patchy fog overnight tonight. Our low temperature 74, but the showers should be over with. And for tomorrow, partly sunny day with a high temperature reaching 89. And then our 7-day outlook shows that it's going to get breezy on Wednesday, Thursday. As that storm passes well to the east of us, we'll still feel it. Adam?
Thank you, Steve. Sports is next. Stick around.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC 7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast. On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC 7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC 7, your Suncoast News on the go. Monday at 5 on ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
The dangers of not getting vaccinated for the flu. We'll have the details in Health Smart.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak tonight at home against the undefeated Denver Broncos. Jameis Winston sacked 5 times in this game, but in the first avoids the pass rush and takes it in himself to tie the game at 7. But without Doug Martin, this Bucs offense struggling to score. Second quarter, Winston stepping up, and he is picked off by Aqib Talib for the second time in this game. The interception setting up a Broncos go-ahead touchdown. Before the half, Broncos starter Trevor Siemian carted off the field following a sack. He would be replaced by the rookie Paxton Lynch, and Lynch is up to the task. Rolling right finds Emmanuel Sanders for his first career NFL touchdown pass. It puts the Broncos up 27-7, and that would be your final in this one. Following a lightning delay for the second straight Sunday in Tampa, the Buccaneers slip to 1-3. Tampa Bay Rays end their season with a win. The Rays' last game, Chase Whitley's first game, the right-hander returning from Tommy John surgery in 2015. In the fourth, things would get a little shaky. Jonathan LaCroix makes it a 1-run game with a solo shot. But Chase Whitley, a chance to bounce back, and he would. Strikeout number 1, and then a couple minutes later, strikeout number 2. Gets out of the inning, preserving that Rays lead. Now this one would go into extras, tied at 4. Tanner Scheppers throws a wild pitch past Curt Casale's head. The go-ahead run scores from third. And then when Casale finally takes the plate again, it was an RBI double past the third baseman, Alexi Ramirez scoring. And the Rays end on a high note, beating the AL's best on the last game of the regular season. Across the country in San Francisco, broadcast legend Vin Scully calls his final game. Scully has called more than 9,000 games during his illustrious 67-year career calling ball games. He says he first fell in love with the sport on October 2nd, 1936, when he walked past a laundromat and saw the score of a New York Giants World Series game. Exactly 80 years later, Scully's last call was as the now San Francisco Giants clinched the wild card earlier today. Take a listen.
And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Sergio Deal, slider, hit in the air to left center. Coming over is Pagan. He puts it away. And the Giants are the wild card team.
The final day of the regular season was highlighted by farewells. Mark Teixeira retiring with the Yankees, Ryan Howard with the Phillies, and 3 Atlanta Braves legends helping say goodbye to Turner Field as the Braves make the move to SunTrust Park next season. Team USA are Ryder Cup champions for the first time since 2008. Ryan Moore was the one who sealed the deal with a 2-putt for par on 18. He wins his match against Lee Westwood and puts the Americans up 15-10, and that's all they would need to clinch. 5 of the 7 matches on Sunday afternoon won by U.S. golfers. It was a fitting tribute to Arnold Palmer, who is tied for the most wins in Ryder Cup 4-ball matches. It's the largest U.S. margin of victory since 1981. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
We just wanted to show that what they did wasn't appreciated, but in a nonviolent way.
Tensions flare at Manatee High School. A Confederate flag sparks a series of peaceful Black Lives Matter protests. We'll look into how the district handled the situation. I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan. We use ibuprofen and naproxen to relieve pain, but could the drugs be doing our body more harm than good?
Monday at Good Morning Suncoast will show you why painkillers could be causing problems for your heart. John?
We're looking at showers and thunderstorms promising us a chance of rainfall, but we're keeping an eye on the tropics as well.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
It's all about fitness and health to start a new month and week. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll hear from a group of mountain climbers about their inspiration and journey. Plus, we get a fitness lesson to find out how they got in shape. Dr. Jenny from Age Vital is back to tell us how to fight our allergies without prescription meds. And Ruth's Chris Steakhouse joins us in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
Download ABC 7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
A pair of new movies beat out recent releases to place first and second at the weekend box office. Rick Damigella has the countdown.
What if I did blow this?
Sully fell 2 places to land in 5th with $8.4 million. That number pushes the Clint Eastwood-directed drama past the $100 million mark after 4 weeks in theaters. Storks also slipped 2 spots to perch in 4th place with $13.8 million, while The Magnificent Seven rode off with 3rd place and $15.7 million.
Mike, what is that? Is everything okay?
Deepwater Horizon, starring Mark Wahlberg as one of the survivors of the BP oil rig disaster, met expectations with a $20.6 million opening, good enough for 2nd place.
And that's you.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children won the weekend with a $28.5 million debut. This marks the first time since 2010's Alice in Wonderland that a movie with Tim Burton in the director's chair has debuted in 1st place. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, some good movies for the weekend, but we would like to give a special attention to a real milestone in the industry, Steve.
Wendy Ross is not here because she's on vacation, which is why I'm here for the next few weeks. But she has an anniversary coming up this week, 40 years since she joined the staff of what we now call ABC 7. Here's an image of her with the news team from back in the... Look at that, young. We were both very young at one point, believe it or not. To her right is Bob Keenan, anchorman. To the left, Ron Jackson. I worked with both of them a few years before Wendy joined the team and I left. The man standing behind her is the father of ABC 7, Robert Nelson, who hired Wendy and me, gave us our first job. He would have turned 93 on Tuesday, and Tuesday will be Wendy's anniversary. So,
well, congratulations to Wendy Ross, absolutely.
And happy birthday to Bob, and congratulations, Wendy, for the great stretch of wonderful weather we've had for the last 40 years.
Yeah, we need to bring back the analog clocks in the background, in my opinion.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. Any weather for the weekend here?
Well, let's take a look at what's going on right now. We have another tropical track for you showing Category 4, Hurricane Matthew skimming the west coast of Haiti as a Category 4 storm. A lot of rain. They're going to have some major problems down there. Fortunately, you can see it moving far to the east of us, and then a cold front will latch onto it off the Carolina coast and take it out to the Atlantic. So I think most of the mainland United States is spared any problems from this particular storm. And here's the next 7 days showing it'll get breezy and windy from the storm on Wednesday and Thursday, but no big problems for us.
Well, we'll take breezy and windy with no big problems any day of the week. That sounds good to us. Thanks for joining us here, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good one.